YouTube. How's it going? Dylan here. And it finally happened. It's here. It's now. It's the end of Secret Wars. It's over. It's finally over. It took forever. I don't even remember when it began. I don't remember when it began because it's just been extended and delayed so many times. It went from 8 to 9. I don't know when it started, but I know it's over. And what an issue. What an ending that was totally like kind of half expected. I enjoyed this book. I enjoyed the entire run. Except for when Doctor Strange died. Or, correction, when Sheriff Strange died. That was upsetting. But, like, this has been a really cool book. And it just kind of... It picks up with the fight between Namor, T'Challa, and Doom. And really, T'Challa uses the Infinity Gauntlet, stones Doom, and Namor throws his trident through him. Doom reconstructs himself and kills Namor. And, like, T'Challa, like, blocks the blast, but Namor is just, like, just disintegrated, legs up. Like, the only thing left on the ground is his legs. It's kind of funny. So then Namor's dead. T'Challa and, Doom just start going at it. Our cast is whittled down to, like, almost nothing. And then Reed and Susan have their talk about things. Someone else is fighting. What is going on here? I don't even know. But anyways, so they have their talk, and then briefly cuts to T'Challa and Doom fighting, and it's just like an eyeball and a panther fighting, essentially. So then the Maker and Mr. Fantastic go to Owen Reese, and then the Maker tries to, of course, betray Reed by, like, de-evolving him into, like, nothingness. But then Molecule Man turned Maker into pizza. So, yeah. And then eats him. And then, like, fixes Reed. So, back to T'Challa and Doom fighting. Doom, like, is clearly winning and is, like, about to win. And he's like, yeah, you may have brought me to using my fists, but I still win. And then he's like, why are you smiling, though? And he's like, well, because this has all been a distraction and you completely fell for it. And then Doom's like, oh crap. Teleports outside of Owen's little world thing. Susan and Valeria are still out there, and Doom's like, what are you guys doing here? And they're just they're like, well, we know the truth. And he's like, it's complicated. And they're kind of like, whatever. And he's like, well, damn. So then he goes into where Reed and Molecule Man are, and Doom is angry. Doom's like, you've come to fuck things up again, and I'm not gonna let you fuck things up. And then he tries to kill him, but he's like, Owen, what the hell is going on? And Molecule Man's like, did you bring me anything to eat? And Doom's like, no. And so Molecule Man's like, well then, everyone is equal here. So Doom doesn't have his godlike powers right now, because Owen's just like, oh, you don't get them right now. So it comes down to a full-on fist fight between Mr. Fantastic and Dr. Doom. And they're just going back and forth about what was the right thing to do, what should have been done, and eventually it just comes down to, like, Doom going, you think you're better than me. And Reed's like, oh, I always thought you could be better than who you are. But, and Doom's like, no, that's not what I mean. I mean, you think you could have done better in fixing the situation than I am. And he goes, yes, and you know I could have done better too. And Doom's like, you're right. But you're gonna die now. And then Molecule Man's like, oh, well, if you guys both agree then. And then essentially gives Reed Richards Doom's powers that he had. Like, Battle World explodes. And you just see a moment of T'Challa grabbing, I want to say the space gem, or it's either the space or time gem, or reality. It's like one of those three gems. I'm not sure. Whatever one the yellow one is. And I always thought the yellow one was power, so I'm not sure. He grabs one of the gems, and then he teleports, essentially. He either teleports or he stays alive while the world is reconstructed around him in a bubble or whatever, and shows up in Wakanda, where he's essentially kicked off a space program that will bring the entire world into the future of, like, space travel, along with the other alien races. That's just, there's a lot of talking there, but that's essentially what happens. And then it just kind of goes to 8 months later, and you see, and I'm not even sure what it is. It's 8 months later in the actual Earth, calling it Earth Prime now. And it's a little moment between Spider-Man, and Molecule Man. And Molecule Man's like, hey, little spider person, I just wanted to say, thanks for the burger, I owe you one. And then Spider-Man and Spider-Man just kind of swing off and go kick some crime. And it's like, what... Then it goes to what happened to the Future Foundation and the Fantastics. Essentially, they are recreating the multiverse. Like, between a combination of the powers that Molecule Man has and Franklin Richards, they are recreating universes and re-slicing pieces of Molecule Man off to, like, fix him and make him, like, better. And make him an anchor point to each reality. So that's what happened. That's the end for the Fantastic Four, kind of. At least the Richards and the Future Foundation. They're in this multiversal space, and they're just going to explore all the multiverses that they've created. And they're no longer going to be superheroes. And, like, the Franklin and Valeria and Sue, like, they all remember who everyone is and whatnot. So. And then the last page is, like, Reed talking about how this has been an experience to change his mind on things, and that he's, wanted to fix things that he believes that should have been fixed. And the last, you see Doom in his castle on a balcony, and he takes off his mask, and his face is completely okay, and it just ends with Doom laughing. And that's how Secret Wars ends. It came down to a gigantic fight between Doom and Reed Richards, which is, of course, the only way that book was going to end. So, it was a good book. It was a good run. I really enjoyed it. I want to reread it all together and just see, what my thoughts are as a whole, because I can honestly say I don't really remember what happened in a couple issues. There are just a couple issues that I'm like, I don't remember, like, because they were so long ago. So yeah. So if you guys want to pick up Secret Wars, either wait for the trade to come out in like a couple months, or pick up the last issue at your local comic book store or online. And yeah, so I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.